Hi, this is Hesper Hyman, and this is my AEP855 Module for accreditation. Um, my principal and I had a hard time with this one because we're in Texas, and so our accreditation and accountability system is set up a little bit differently than Kansas schools are. Here in Texas, we have what's called an A through F rating, which means that our accreditation and accountability is rated based on 70% of that comes from either student achievement or school progress, whichever one of those receives the higher rating. And then 30% of that comes from closing the gap. Here in TextLine, where I currently work, our rating is a B rating, and we're hoping to get to an A this next year. Now, the way that will affect your accreditation is if you don't show improvement over 2 years, you're going to get a letter of warning, and then eventually it will affect your accreditation. And if you are in the D or F stage, or you slide back in any of your areas, that can affect your accreditation. So what he and I did is we sat down and we said, okay, if this school was actually in Kansas with what we are doing now, how would that rate? And so we just kind of went along with each one of them and tried to rate them individually. So under the relationships, we said staff would be in the transitioning area. Students would be transitioning to modeling, closer to the modeling stage. Families transition to modeling. Communities would be in the transitioning. As far as relevance, our curriculum and instruction, we said, we're solidly in the modeling. Here in Texas, we have an evaluation system called the T-test system. And what we really like about the T-test system is that it's very heavy on curriculum and instruction, and it's all about being proficient or above proficient, and the rating system and the way that it goes about grading and looking at those really gives a lot of information and relevant information to the teachers and to the leaders to just continue to improve. And so this is our third year with the T-test, and I think it's really made a big difference. Student engagement, we would say, would be transitioning to modeling, and technology would be pretty solidly in the transitioning. We are looking at switching all of our technology over to a Google. So we didn't buy any really new technology this year, and so it's been a really rough year technology-wise. If I look at responsive culture, early childhood would be in the transitioning to modeling. District climate, transitioning, nutrition and wellness would also be in the transitioning. Under rigor, we felt like that rigor was one of our strongest areas. Here in Texas, we have what's called a district of innovation. If your accreditation is high enough and your rating is high enough, you can become a district of innovation. And what a district of innovation allows is that it gives the school a little bit more leeway. One of those things could be an educator certification. Now, other than core classes, we could ask people from the community to come in, teach an automotive class, teach an accounting class, teach sewing, just offer some of these more technical classes, and they don't have to be accredited to come in. It affects our school day links. We're not we're not tied to, we just have to have a certain amount of minutes or hours, however we get those. So when we looked at the rigor under career and technology, we were very solidly in the modeling, and professional learning we felt was transitioning to modeling. Resources, transitioning, and data was in the modeling stage. When I spoke with my principal concerning his leadership styles, he and I have very similar leadership styles. And so we went through and he picked what he thought and I picked what I thought, and we came up with two that we felt really combined both of our thought processes. So the one style that I felt was autocratic. And the reason why I picked that is because he is really good in stress-filled situations. We're a K through 12 school, and so he is dealing with everything from the preschooler that's screaming and scared and doesn't want to be here to the senior that's ditching school and all the parents in between. So I think he's really good in handling all that stress and kind of putting out all the fires and going along. One of the things that he did point out and we did discuss is, sometimes that can come across as micromanaging. So that's one you really have to kind of be careful of. The one that he came up with that I agree with is situational leadership, in which here again works very well for a K through 12 environment. because one day he can come to work and he's the principal and gets to do all those things. The next day he's the lunch lady, and the day after that he's driving a bus, and then the next day he's the sixth grade teacher, and so he really has to wear different hats, and he has to step into all those different leadership styles and be able to perform well in all of them, and then be able to lead those around him to be able to pick up the slack in other areas. So the areas that we discussed that we felt like were some of our lowest, one was in the professional learning on family engagement. We engage the school, the families and the communities as a whole with the school, but we really don't teach our teachers in how to do that. So some of the things that we talked about was, we offer a lot of great programs. We offer a lot of great online programs. We offer a lot of great things for the kids, but the parents don't necessarily know about these, and these kids aren't going to be running home all the time telling their parents, hey, I can log in this and I can do extra work. So that would be one thing that we would really need, we would like to see teachers stressing more. Now, the PSEL standard that I assigned to that was standard 8B, that basically says that we need to create a collaboration that is productive and positive with the families and the communities for the students' benefits. And that's what it all boils down to, is the benefit of the students. The other area that we felt we scored low in was community partnership. And we thought, we're not doing enough through that district of innovation. And what I thought was that, we need to get the community involved a little bit more. They know we are a district of innovation, but I don't think everybody understands what that means. And we have some really great people in our community that I think could really step up, if they could only come once a week, or they could come for an assembly or different things like that, really get the community a little bit more involved with the school. The standard I assigned to that was 5D, which is basically relationships in schools and communities should support academic learning with positive social and emotionals. So, when the school and the community are together, it's just a win-win for the kids. The next one was student input, and this one is one that is going to be very hard for us to grow in, we felt like, because we're very limited on the amount of teachers we have. We're very limited. But if we include our School of Innovation and we can get more community members in, we can get more classes for our students. So what would student input look like? Survey them. What kind of classes do they want to see? What would be something they're interested in learning about? And then seeing what we can do to provide that. So the PSEL standard that I assigned to that was 1E. The vision of the school in some areas, such as some classes, can be fluid, and it can change to best support the changing needs and expectations of the student. So as our students' needs change, it's something we definitely want to look at. Thank you for watching.